Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gray Man Prepping. Tonight we are doing Practical Tuesday, and the topic tonight is Are your children ready for or prepared for school? How's everybody doing out there? I got Laura
Hello.
from Hedgehog's Homestead, and maybe getting a few others to pop up here as we go along. But first, I'm going to go over to the comments and say hi to everybody. And the first one in was Gear Grinding 19. Then CR, Creative Redundancy from north of the border. And Where to Begin Homestead then came in. And chit chat. Laura said hi to them. And then Cottonwood Ranch came in. How you doing? And I know it begins with an R. I think it's Raquel. I'm not sure. I think it's Raquel. If I'm wrong, please tell me I'm wrong.
I believe it's Raquel as well.
Yeah.
So if I'm wrong, please correct me.
Let's see. Hedgehog, the Farmer's Son Prepping is here. Kaylin Strain is here. And let's see who else has popped in here. Chopping down. I think I got everybody. It always jumps when I get down near the bottom, so I got to go back.
Of course.
Yay! Got it right. Okay. Oh, I got another point. Wait a minute. I got to just write. Hey! For those of you who were on Cottonwood Ranch yesterday, she was hosting the game. You might be a redneck if, and we had 3 answers, and I was on there. I one of the contestants on it last night. Hey, so Barry, how's it going?
How redneck are you, Gail?
I won.
You won? Okay.
I won.
I can see that.
Some of them, though, I would have to disagree with. I mean, some of them were others were more redneck than what Jeff Foxworthy said. But hey,
teasing. Yeah. Hey, Barry.
All right. So tonight is basically part 2 of Children in School. Last night on Camp Patton Family Compound was part 1. Tonight and last night's dealt with with homeschooling versus public schooling. Tonight is preparing your children for public school, and even a little bit of private school too. There'll be a little bit of talk about stuff in there for private schools too. So before I get started, I'm going to water my throat here. Because it is hot, and I was out on the tractor moving dirt and dusty. So, all righty. So let's get over here back to this, and let's look at the next slide here. All right. So wait, first I'm going to go back to the other one. Now, not only have you prepare your children for saying goodbye to you after all summer being with you and stuff, and going on to school, you got to prepare them for dealing with other kids and making friends. Say about this as far as what you want to do, how you can teach your children for the mores of dealing with other kids and stuff like that. One of the things is always, no matter what it is, tell your kids not to be afraid of speaking up and telling the truth, especially when dealing with a bully, either to themselves or to someone else. Because hey, unfortunately, there are still bullies in the class, and now with today's you can't pick on the poor bully. It's not his fault. It's society's fault. He's a bully.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say a cow manure word so bad right now. All right. Hang on. I'm checking the side chat here. Most of the time, the answer is they don't get enough sleep, and parents let them have junk food, which doesn't set them up for success.
Right.
And even some of the things you think is not junk food is friggin' bad. So I'm going to deviate here for about 15, 20 seconds.
Okay.
I just realized that Welch's grape jelly and Smucker's strawberry jam have changed from the formula they used when 15, 20 years ago, when they actually used sugar in it and not high fructose corn syrup, which now they both use. So those things are bad for kids. High fructose corn syrup, bad. Most of your ketchups, high fructose corn syrup, bad. You got to get like Heinz Simply has no high fructose corn syrup. Most of your barbecue sauces have high fructose corn syrup in it. Sweet Ray's has it, but plain Ray's doesn't have it. So there's my little thing tagging on to what Raquel said about junk food and stuff. So let's get back into the slides. All right. Now it's not just sometimes it's not standing up to an individual bully they got to worry about. Sometimes it's a group bully, and where the group themselves are afraid to step up and stand up against the rest of the group. Whereas a couple of them stepped up, the rest of the group would suddenly go, "Oh crap, we're doing it wrong."
Yeah.
And you'd only have one bully that's, find out there's just one big bully running a group. Now, here comes the hard part. Getting your kids to stand up for the truth when they know they're being taught something that's a lie.
Yeah.
And so, this racial justice guide by NEA, whose objects are defund the police and ban voter ID and supporting certain groups that have been tagged as terrorist groups by Homeland Security and the FBI. I'm not going to go into which ones those are, but they're wrong when it comes to which lives matter. And this one here is the BPS instructional priorities. I just found this picture there. I'm not sure what it is. But lesson 7, confronting whiteness in our classroom. I'm sorry, folks, but you got to prepare your kids for this BS, which is going to be trying to shove down their throat, especially if you're in California.
It's all over. It's all over the place. It's not just the
New York. Yeah. Well, it's interesting
everywhere.
Here. Someone tried to get it into one of the school districts here in Eastern Idaho. And the entire board told them to go pound rocks, that they are not making lies part of the curriculum.
Tennessee said the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the one thing it is right. The second highlighted one here: verbalize and write down ways people can use their voices for a cause and standing for the truth. So you need to make sure your kid knows, hey, if they're telling you lies, write stuff down, what was said. And, let them know, bring it to you, and you'll go back and talk to the principal, the school board, and, call out the teacher on it.
I think this is very important to say, too. If you got to give your children the permission to speak out against what they believe is not true as well.
Yeah.
Because this stuff in lesson 7, if they're speaking out against that and they don't feel comfortable about speaking against authority, that's a good conversation to have with your children as well.
Yeah, and let them know that the teacher is just someone hired to teach a curriculum. They are not the person of authority. They're just an instructor, and they can make mistakes, and sometimes they're teaching something that they really don't believe themselves.
Right.
So. And I believe that's the last slide I had here. Unless you want to go to my favorite one. What? Say what? Yeah. So that's one of the things. My youngest son in high school got in trouble for disagreeing with the teacher several times. And I had to go in there and threaten to arrest in DHS uniform and threaten to arrest the principal and the teacher for teaching lies in the classroom concerning certain governmental things before they shut up and stopped messing around. the big thing that got him going was the fact that the teacher was saying it was the demon rats
Mm-hmm.
that passed the Equal Rights Amendment. And no, it wasn't. There was zero. If you check the congressional record, there were zero
Mm-hmm.
of them that voted for it. There was a huge number that abstained, and the rest voted against it. It was passed by Republicans. So they're trying to change history in the schools, which is going back to last night. One of the things we need to make sure we teach kids at home, even if they are in public schools, is true history. And we just had Idaho Garden Girl come in and pass them a quaddie. Hey.
Hello, you guys.
So in preparing your kids for school, there are a lot of things you need to prepare them for. One is all summer long is make sure that they don't lose what they had learned for mathematics, English, writing, and stuff during the summertime.
Right.
Give them. They're going to hate you for this at the time. In the future, they'll thank you for it. Give them summer homework. All right, read this book, write a report on it. Have them practice the next level of math from what they learned in the previous semester before they got out for summer vacation. That way, they're a step ahead. They haven't lost anything, which makes them a step ahead automatically. But then they're a step ahead above those that didn't lose anything over the summer. They've retained everything and they've gained more, so they're a little bit ahead. Hey, it's the roaming prepper.
Hey, roaming prepper. He just roamed on over.
Yeah.
One of the things you can do too is just go to the library, get some books for your kids, have them write book reports, which is a great thing.
Fun books.
Mm-hmm. Fun books, because it's summertime. So they can read about things that they're really interested in.
And depending on the age of your kids, I'm going to try to bring something up here real quick if I can. I just, Laura just made me think about it. When did I start reading it? When I was 11, 10? There was a series of books, and I'm going to try to find it here, that was written actually for, it was put in one of those things like Women's Day, or this little had a bunch of short stories in it, and it went. There it is, Mad Scientist Club. Yes, here we go, and the author had written these. He was an Air Force person, and had written these stories, and then combined them into a couple of books, and. I tell you, let me bring it up here now. The Mad Scientist Club. Let me bring it. I have somewhere around. I have wrapped it in a quart size Ziploc bag to protect it. The original one I have. I have bought a couple others since then, and it is wow. The price has gone up on it. Dang, for $15 for a paperback. I didn't even pay that for the hardcover. I went and bought the hardcover because I like reading it so much.
But you can borrow it. And the thing is, too, you can get library books. If you have a Kindle, you can get library books from your library on your Kindle. You don't even have to go to the library. So if you're in a rural area or it's hard for you to get out, you can get books at the library on your Kindle.
Also, Amazon has a lending library of its own.
Yeah.
And my wife is always borrowing books from there. In fact, the second week she was here, she spent the first 2 days trying to finish the book that she was going to become an end, and it was going to go back, and she wanted to finish it before it was done.
Right.
And so there's more than that. All right, there is. The Mad Scientist Club. Let me get these opened up here in different links so I can go through them. And the Mad Scientist Club itself go back up here, has inside of it these stories: The Strange Sea Monster of Strawberry Lake, The Big Egg, Secret of the Old Cannon, The Unidentified Flying Man of Mammoth Falls, The Great Gas Bag Race, Voice in the Chimney, and Night Rescue. These also teach you about stuff. And what I love about this is the biggest weapon these boys all have, they're ham radio operators.
Mm-hmm.
And they have ham radios to run all the remote control gadgets and everything else.
Right.
But all right, so that's the Mad Scientist Club, book 1. The new adventures of the Mad Scientist Club. And I saw how many. I'm trying to remember what shows the. They just run. It's just one big long. That's right. This is the one that has one big long story in it.
One of the things you can do for little kids. This
Mm-hmm.
is great idea for middle school kids.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the great things you can do for little school kids is get them some, like if they're just going into school, you can get them books about going to school and
Mm-hmm.
dealing with bullies. And there's a whole series of books all about that. You can be reading those throughout the summer, or even during school time. But with autistic kids and other kids that are special needs, you can take pictures of their buses and what their school teachers is going to look like and just different things, and make up your own book for that student. And that also helps too. So the power of the story and to open up conversation is awesome for children. And I recommend that before the kids go to school.
Yeah. All right. The Big Kerplop is another adventure one. Trying to find stuff. Big Chunk of Ice is another one. I mean, and these in the first book here, The Great Gas Bag Race, the boys, with the help of several people in town, build a balloon.
Oh, nice.
And they're entered a balloon race. And the Night Rescue deals with. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Night Rescue deals with helping the sheriff's department search and rescue and the Air Force rescue teams find a pilot that went down.
Now, if you're concerned about these books, I mean, I noticed that it says 40th anniversary editions.
Yeah.
I think it's good for kids to read old books, but you can find, if you're worried about what they're teaching in school like that, you can find Christian books and stuff like that that are more modern.
Yeah.
I would be very careful, though. If you are of faith or anything like that, be very careful that you read the books first before you can put them in your children's hands nowadays.
Now, one of the things, another one of the stories I really liked about this, those that know me from the different stuff I do with all of my Halloween puppets and stuff here, The Voice in the Chimney, where an old abandoned house that everybody was afraid to go to, they went and haunted it. When the local braggart was I'm going to spend the night in there, blah, blah, blah.
Hey, Springfield Ranch.
And they went and haunted it. Hey, Teresa, how's it going? And so, yeah, these are great ones. Now, talk about younger kids. Something else you can do, too, is besides books for them and stuff about going to school, there are videos. And right now, my youngest grandson, who's in his terrible twos, is watching at least twice a week potty training videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're all working on even the number 3.
And he's frozen.
Yeah, number 3 son Danny is he's quote potty trained, but he gets involved in tries to hold it, poop, and goes hides. He's not taking it out and wiping it everywhere like he was last year, but so sometimes we keep telling them, no, hey, you got to, you feel it, you got to stop what you're playing and you got to go take care of it. And but the thing is, some of the videos for the little kids, you let them watch a video, and since they can't write down yet, you have them tell you about the video.
Right.
That gets their mind going into remembering what they're seeing and being able to repeat it back.
Right.
So like when the teacher does something in school, when they come home, they can repeat it back to you.
Right. That's the nice thing about a book, though, is like if they're not just watching a video, if they're reading a book, or you're reading a book to them, you can stop in that moment and go, "What do you think about this?" Or "What do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he a brave boy?" And be encouraging, and it puts you in the equation, and it opens up the conversation between you and your son or daughter. So
one of the things that's this is going to really date me here. I have a bunch of books on the shelf here that were mine when I was a little kid, and my mom wrote the date that we got them and everything, and they're all by Dr. Seuss. I have about 40 of them in here that my wife and I read to our kids, and we are now reading to the grandsons.
Mm-hmm.
So I know which ones held my attention as a little guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I get them involved with those first, and then they want to read the other ones, which are a little bit more. I mean, Dr. Seuss wrote it for ages and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you get to the older ones and stuff, and sometimes even the younger ones will sit through the older ones because they're interested because some of the younger ones.
Right.
And of course, when you're reading books to them, the best way not to read a book, or the worst way to read a book, however you want to look at it. And then he went and did this, and the balloon popped. Like my mom, and I was doing it, and Horton heard a sound, and he couldn't,
Yeah.
And you make it exciting, and you get them to use their imagination. Like you said, stop, say, what do you think he looked like?
Right.
And stuff. What do you think that he heard before you turn the page and you see what a who is?
One of the things I gotta say too about books is that they create a better attention span than the videos that they're putting out. Even the educational videos that they're putting out, they're dulling them down in time because kids are lacking the attention span.
Yeah.
So
the only videos that really hold the grandkids' attentions are the Singing Walrus and Pete the Cat videos.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Singing Walrus ones are 3 minutes, 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes of song and stuff, and it goes into the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And if they haven't seen it for a week or so and I put it on, they're watching it. And then they start singing with it, and they're doing the stuff they see them do on the screen.
Right.
So, but they learn their numbers counting to 100 at an early age. But probably the most difficult thing about kids going to public school is letting them know that if they feel something wrong is being taught, it's okay to come to you and talk to you about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to say, my parents say that's not right, and whatever. And I know my youngest son had fun with that. He was like, my dad, the federal agent, says you're full of baloney. He got in trouble for saying that, and I went in there, and that's one time I threatened the rest of the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
On something. Yeah, you are. No, you're not full of baloney. You're full of dog poop.
Yeah.
And I read that Teacher the Riot Act, and the teacher was like, every time my son came in there, rose his hand, in the class and said, that's not right.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I did empower my son, maybe a bit too much. But that was in his junior and senior year in high school. And he, was really, feeling confident of himself by then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, one of the things you can do for kids, even during the summertime, to give them confidence and stuff.
Cool, Barry.
Both boys and girls now, scouting.
Yeah.
Gives them all sorts of good information and gives them confidence to do things. And that's one of the main things about scouting is to teach confidence and give confidence to kids and give them a safe place to, quote, make mistakes and learn from the mistakes and do things right. Yeah, that's part of the problem is when the parents don't care at all, and they're turning the kids over to the school to raise them.
Mm-hmm.
Schools aren't to raise kids; they're to educate
The
them.
schools will oblige. I mean, when I was in college for early education, I mean, they basically are teaching these teachers to believe that they know more than their parents do.
Yeah.
No.
And then, of course, so it's funny is when those teachers run into a parent that has more degrees than they do.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about degrees, though.
Yeah.
You know.
But some of the things with teachers and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
well, I got my bachelor's degree in this. Well, I got my doctorate in this.
Yeah.
And I've seen that happen. And teacher goes, "Oh."
Right. But nobody knows your kid more than you should know your kid.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Yeah. My two boys, my oldest son, when he was 16, he had everything done but his Eagle project. And he had twice as many, not quite, almost twice as many merit badges as he needed. And he goes, I don't want to do an Eagle project. I just want to have fun. And we tried a couple times to get him to do a project. Didn't want to do it. So, okay. Now, the youngest one, he needed 2 merit badges and his Eagle project when he was 14. And he got involved. Actually, he for National Youth Leadership Training, you're supposed to be 14. The course director of the one being run by our council was his substitute math teacher, and was there more than the regular math teacher was. And he really liked Matthew, and he gave Matthew the waiver to come in when Matthew was 13 into the NYLT, National Youth Leadership Training Program. And when Matthew was done, he was one of the first ones up there after graduation to sign up to be staff the following year. And he was on staff for 5 courses. Sometimes there were 2 courses a year. And so he stopped working on his Eagle because he was involved with the youth leadership training. He only had a couple of merit badges to go and his project.
Mm-hmm.
And so for the next 2.5 years, he worked for the National Youth Leadership Training Program. And he also joined what's called, in Scouts, there's troops, teams, and ventures. And so he was a part of a troop, part of a venture team. Part of a varsity team and a venture crew. And so he was doing. He went to in New Mexico. I can't remember the place now. Anybody out there know what the big scout reservation is in New Mexico? He went there on what's called cavalcade. They rode horses for 10 days.
Wow,
they rode the horses,
nice.
Rode the horses, set up camp. And he did that and some other stuff. And about 2 months before his 16th birthday, he goes, all right, what do I need for my Eagle? And he completed his Eagle before his 16th birthday. And then and he was also working at the same time, working on the Denali Award for the varsity team. And a week after he turned 16, he got that award.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's all. So this was 16. So now he was just coming into his junior and senior year. This kid was full of himself and confidence. So that's why he was able to stand up so good. Oh, Boundary Waters is another good one up there. Yes, up in Minnesota. I still can't remember the one down in New Mexico. But yeah, there's so scouting, it works great. My daughter was mad that they wouldn't let girls into scouting when she was of that age. And she tried doing Girl Scouts, and she goes, oh, she did it for about 3 months. She said, no, this is not real scouting. This is, this is home ec, which I already know how to do.
Right.
And it wasn't fun. It was super cliquish. Oh, Barry, no. Barry's fighting a wasp.
Oh, I fought a big moth, huge moth. It was a hornworm moth.
Yeah.
Big.
Tennis racket works great for him.
Mm-hmm. So does my dog,
Yeah.
Astro. You got that moth, didn't you? Yes, he did.
I wish kids were taught the way we were years ago, born in the 60s. Yeah, Barry, I was born in the late 50s, and things were totally different. I mean, even like my junior and senior year was the high school I went to, every pickup truck in the student parking lot had a shotgun or a rifle or both in the rack behind, in the back window.
And what state was that?
Arizona.
Oh.
And guess how many shootings we had there at that school?
0.
0.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. Yeah. So there are other what's the word, extracurricular groups and stuff. Boys and Girls Club helps kids out. There are different things they can get involved.
Tons of after school programs.
Yeah.
But then again, you still have to. I mean, there's a lot of church after school programs too, as well.
Yeah.
So check into your local church and see if there's something there.
Yeah. The St. Joseph's there in I think St. Joseph's in Martinez, the Catholic Church in St. Martinez, actually asked our troop to come and be associated with their Cub Scout unit.
Mm-hmm.
Our troop was chartered by the Veterans of Foreign Wars, but most of the leadership of the troop was of a different religion, but they didn't care. Right. You guys are you're religious? Fine, come. That's all they kept. You believe in Christ? Fine, come on.
Yeah.
They never questioned what religions the different scoutmaster, assistant scoutmaster, committee chair, and those were.
Right.
But then, as soon as possible, one of the ladies that was with the Cub Scouts, when her boys came into Scouts, we made her an assistant scoutmaster for the inclusion. It worked out great. Yeah. She's now she from assistant scoutmaster, and when I moved up here, after I retired, she became scoutmaster. So.
Oh, okay.
And right now, my wife is the committee chair. But so having good parents that are interested
mm-hmm.
in the kids in these after-school programs and these extracurricular programs is important.
For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, and just the thing is, is probably the biggest thing you can do with your kids is talk to them.
Yeah. Keep that line of communication open about everything.
and let them know that, hey, school is not all fun and games. You got to learn
mm-hmm.
things. There are going to be bullies that they're insecure and they're scared, so they pick on everybody else to make themselves feel good.
Hey, Gunslinger and Tibor.
It's Gunslinger, my buddy. How's it going? Hey, Tibor. And yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. Yes, my kids are ready for school. Okay. Cute, Gunslinger.
Yeah, are you ready for your kids to go to school? Most of the parents would say yes.
Yeah. Are you ready for your kids to come home from school?
No.
No. Are you ready to deal with all the homework and all the other stuff?
No.
And that's where keeping education going throughout the summer
Yeah.
makes it easier. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do to help help the kids get prepared for things. And what I really like, and I kind of wish that Steve would pop up in here, and I forgot to send him the link. Dummy me. He's done a lot of good things with his kids, and one of the things we did a live stream together, Steve and I. That's Corsair Trainers.
Mm-hmm.
What was it, about a year and a half ago?
I knew who
And
you were talking about.
Teaching. I want to make sure everybody else in the site. And most of them know Tibor. I know, and guess they know who he is, but some of the others might not know Steve. But we did a live stream on teaching children situational awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve has talked about several things he's done with his kids. You can say everything else. And situational awareness, going to school and coming home from school, are things that the kids need to know. And if you work with them on getting to understand situational awareness, head on the swivel, sort of say, to look around and to always be aware of their surrounding, what's going on, also makes them more comfortable and the other C word, confident in their surroundings. Okay, Kim says, my sister does that with my great niece. She does that. She does activities and courses and learning and other activities. Cool. So there's, if you, like I tell people at other times and stuff, when it comes to certain things, get the notebook out, write stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that's interesting, write it down. And if you just remember to pull out your notebook, guess what you got to do? Here's your homework. Go back and watch the video again and write down the good stuff that you want to try using with your kids. There you go, guys. You're going back to school if you didn't write it down. Here's your homework assignment. Write it down.
Yeah.
All righty. Okay, we got about another 20 minutes to go. Does anybody out there want me to drop the link for them?
Does anybody have any questions about preparing kids with special needs or autism for school?
Yeah.
Because I could probably help you out with that.
Yeah, and kids with special needs is really on a totally different level.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes they can be bullied and they're afraid to tell you that they're being bullied.
Or they can't.
Or they can't. And it's we're not sure what happened, but Eli was making great progression in his potty training, and one of his favorite things was taking a shower, and all of a sudden, boom, like something happened, and he won't talk about it. He just says no shower, and he fights taking a shower now.
Yeah.
Still need to learn how to read a crochet pattern.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, special needs kids are targeted by not only bullies, but sexual predators and other things. And it's one of the things you really have to watch out
teachers.
For. Huh?
And sometimes stupid teachers.
Yeah, and stupid teachers. So you got to really watch it, and you got to look for signs of those things. And some of them are that they withdraw from school, that they get very angry, that they have no interest in either friends that they used to play with, or teachers or classrooms, or just small little situations like that. Hey, Storm. Barry. So, do you know what to do with that now? That I sent it your way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to do a little research because it's been a while.
Yeah. I have a video on my page even how to deal with that.
Also, I
Anybody,
think I have to get something to culture it in. So
All right.
I had a big glass thing that I was going to use, and I went to pull it out of the very back of the cabinet, and it's been, I don't know what happened to it. It's been broken. So,
no, oops.
oh well. I'll find something.
Yeah, Tibor, I've watched John over there at Warrior Poet Society. I don't know what happened. I guess YouTube unsubscribed me because I haven't seen his notifications lately, so I have to go watch that. But yeah, that's the thing is kids need to realize just because a person is an adult, they don't always have to do what they say, especially if they don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Someone said, "Oh, you need to get in the car with me." It's like, no. So.
Right.
So.
And that goes back forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that fan noisy? Can you even hear it?
Nope.
Okay.
Not really. Not even any noisier than my fans in the living room.
This laptop's a year old, and I got a fan that's right above or right below the part of the keyboard that is going out.
Oh, okay.
Right over the processor.
No.
Yeah,
You have to get one of those little fan things that you set your computer on.
Yeah.
It's not like I got a laptop. I got two laptops here, and both of them are sitting on the fan trays. So.
I have another fan. I'm just reluctant to take it apart and add a new fan to it.
Yeah.
It works. So why bother?
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, for what you give for these things, it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kaylin, I think YouTube's shadow blocking me again from getting people's video things because I've only gotten about 10 notifications today.
Well, that's hardly any.
Yeah. Considering I'm subscribed to 700 and some odd channels.
Yeah, me too.
I had to actually copy and paste the URL out of Messenger because for some reason when I clicked the link in Messenger, it wouldn't do anything. From my laptop. So I just copied and pasted it real quick, and it worked that way. But
yeah,
it seems like I had that problem last week too.
Yeah.
Does anybody? Okay, wait. So here we go. I'm gonna say. Yeah, exactly. And yes, it's the sticks and stones things, but sometimes the little kid, words hurt worse than sticks and stones.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah, Kayla, and that's the thing is Chrome is owned by Google, who owns YouTube.
Who owns
and
StreamYard?
The Chrome Messenger notification thing. When you go into it, it says you can set how many notifications it'll retain. Well, I have it set to the maximum 20. You know how many it retains? 5.
Wow.
And that's it. And so sometimes it keeps the first 5 in there, and sometimes it keeps the oldest 5. I mean the newest 5 in there. So as you get a new one, it drops the one off the bottom. Sometimes it does that.
Right.
Sometimes it does the other. Hey, Michelle, how's it going?
Hi, Michelle.
And yeah, so it's right now. I'm not. If people out there wonder why I'm not commenting on your videos, it's because I'm not getting notifications. Hey, it's Patty and her boss.
Hey, Patty and her boss.
Hey, Mac. I hope I didn't get you in trouble, Mac. All I can say is, Mac's got probably the funniest sense of humor of anybody I see from YouTube over on Facebook. He posts the funniest thing on things on Facebook. He'll post the most stupidest thing about marital stuff, and he goes, "Follow me for more marital advice."
That's funny.
And it's absolutely hilarious.
I can relate to that.
Oh yeah, not a monopoly. Because hey, wait a minute, there's other platforms and stuff. And what's funny is, so I was watching Southern Blessed before I went live. I was watching their live stream on Chrome and on Firefox. I had Gray Man prepping up on Firefox, and several times Chrome got the wheel of death going.
Mm.
And Firefox just kept right on playing. It's like, oh, cool, I'll just listen to this one instead.
Yeah.
Chrome tends to be a heavy resource user
Yeah.
for some reason.
I think part of the reason why Chrome has such a heavy resource user and stuff is because of what they put in it to try to protect it from hackers and stuff.
Yeah.
But kids, back to kids. Anybody in the side chat have any more ideas, thoughts they'd like to share? And if you don't want to type it all out, and I think about everybody in the side chat, I would let up here. So if you want me to drop the link in there, just type a yes, and I will drop the link in for you. You know, StreamYard is really easy to use. Oh, yeah.
Chips are loud over here.
I'm on Amazon's browser. That's installed.
The what's loud?
Yes.
Jets.
Kaylin,
No.
here's what's interesting. Point here, Kaylin, says she's on her Kindle. She uses the Silk, which is the Amazon browser.
Mhm.
Silk works with StreamYard. It will not accept
Melon?
Melon or Streamlabs.
Hmm.
And it says, sorry, you got to install Chrome for it to work on your Kindle. Trying to install Chrome on your Kindle, at least for me, it was like causing, nope, I ain't going to do it. Forget it. Not worry about it.
Yeah.
So once I found out that StreamYard works on my Kindle, I was good.
Yeah.
My Kindle doesn't do all that funny stuff. It's just for books.
Well, generally, that's what I use it for, books, and I do read a lot of books on it, and I also use it for at nighttime when I'm trying to decompress in bed. There, if I don't want to read, I'll play like regular solitaire or spider solitaire on it, a couple games, and then go to bed. But when I found out that it actually worked good for the camera in it, worked good for doing some videos, especially the vertical ones for shorts. I've been using a lot of it to do that too, because
Don't get all those videos on your phone.
well, no, I don't do video on my phone at all. I have my other camera here. Usually this is my main video camera. But it has a battery problem. And I got a battery pack with it, and I don't forget to turn the battery pack on. About 20 minutes into the video, it turns off.
What? You don't use one of these from like the 90s?
Actually, I can't find my mom's.
It still works.
Oh, one of those big JVC, yeah.
Yeah. This is a Super VHS. It's one of the small ones.
Yeah.
This is what?
Actually, yeah.
And Laura just shot us out of the park with a little small one there.
That's right.
And then I have some of these thingies.
Yeah. Well, I do have this one here.
Yeah.
But
I use my phone most of all, and I use I have a little mic for my phone.
Yeah. This does automatically chops it every 15 minutes. I think either 15 or 5 minutes. This camera chops it the other. So one does 5 minutes, the other one does 15. I'm not sure which one it is. But one of these puts it in an AVI format, which is huge.
No, that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a dash cam that does that. It's so annoying.
Yeah, and the first thing I got to do, download it. 20 minutes later, after it's downloaded, I run it through Pinnacle and convert it from AVI to the standard MPEG.
So does it give you the option of doing HD or regular or Okay.
It's
Sometimes you can save a lot of space just on that.
Yeah, they're 1080 1080 on both of them. So
which isn't that big. So
yeah.
But the only thing that doesn't work on this camera is the batteries. But I mean, you can't expect something from I think late 90s or early 2000s to have good battery in it.
I'm just reviewing back in case I missed something on the chat here.
Wow, what is this?
Okay. Yeah, MP4, the MPEG 4 or whatever. But yeah, and the same thing with one of my something else I have here that I do. One of the other little cameras I got around here. When I film on it, I got to convert it to, because even I got to just put all those into Pinnacle and convert it, because if I try to edit from the one format that's on the on my Kindle and the format on this big camera here, it'll work. But if I throw one of these other ones in here, it wants I'm sorry, you got to convert that one first.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking about using that Super VHS as my webcam in the house, because it actually has lighting and everything on it.
Nice.
It just needs an adapter, which I found for like $20 on Amazon.
Cool.
So it's
cool if it works and you get good video out of it. Who cares?
Yeah. I'm on my desktop or laptop camera right now, and it sucks so bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We got the GoPros because we're doing. I mean, you should. These things have been through.
There's a Pocket, DJI Pocket 2. It has built-in gimbal, and where I have essential tremors, that would work perfect for me.
Yeah.
Video wouldn't be shaky.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
But $400 for one of those babies too.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Well,
there was one of those ones like I said, like I got the Go. They just kicked it off here. I have several things on my wish list, and the GoPro Hero 8. Oh, we don't know when we're going to get this one back in stock.
Yeah.
And where's some of the other ones here?
I have the 9. Never get the fisheye one. The one that, I mean, if you're doing it for YouTube, don't get the one where you can see all the way around you. Yeah. That thing is a mess. It's hard to work with.
Oh, the Hero 9 is still in stock for $348.
Oh, that's cheap.
And let's see, where was is the other one still in here? Or did it? Oh, and of course the Polaroid Cube, which was what Dave was using, Southern Ohio Prepping, for some of his videos, is also, don't know when they're going to get back in stock. They haven't pulled it, so it might have popped in sometime when I wasn't looking. It sold right out again.
Yeah.
Well, what you do there is pre-order. That way, when it does come into stock, you have a better chance of getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, so I gotta watch the prices and stuff, because if it comes back in, it's at a higher price. I don't want to buy it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right now, the webcam with microphone. Actually, let me just show you this one here. This one here, 1080p webcam with microphone is now $19. It dropped 13%. So it dropped basically.
We have a really good webcam. I don't use it. I use what's on my my Dell here. Works pretty well.
It's a really clear picture. Color's good too. Both of you got, it's really bright.
So,
I got a bunch of different cameras and stuff.
But I have a light over here too.
I'm just waiting for the price to come down just enough where I can take a snapshot. Ooh, it dropped 20%. I saved money and not get yelled at for buying it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I love my wife, but she is a staff sergeant in a unit of drill sergeant.
I'm in the same boat. My husband's an accountant too, so I understand.
Yeah. Yeah, there's other fun stuff.
He doesn't yell at me. He just like, honey, that's not really in the budget.
Oh no, my wife doesn't yell unless it's really
No.
super
We
bad.
have agreed upon money amounts that we can spend or not.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, me, myself, and I have too.
But
It's funny, he goes over more than I do though.
now, I have heard from a couple of my friends in California, they've gotten some small versions of the body cam,
Mm.
and they've actually put it on their kids going to school.
Mm.
They got that has a little bit smaller and takes the big. They have like the super micros SD. That'll record 8 hours of stuff on it,
Wow.
and so they're doing that. And being in California, I wouldn't blame them.
Mhm.
Yeah. I can't blame him either.
Of course, what's kind of funny is like if they send them together with glasses to school, there's a camera right there. And actually, the microphone on this isn't that bad. It's pretty good. So I mean, that's something else you can think about if you want. If you think there's a need to protect your kids, you think something's going on. I mean, some of the cameras I found are like, I mean, it looks like a ballpoint pen, and it has like almost a gigabyte worth of memory in there.
Right.
And there's some other ones that are so they have their phone in their backpack or whatever, but it's Bluetooth through the little camera, so it just so it just uses the however many gigabytes or terabytes you got on your phone, it just uses that for the storage.
Also, something to keep in mind too, if your child's security is.
Oh, got a question in the side chat here, and it's a health question.
Okay.
Anyone know how to lower cholesterol without lowering blood pressure? Now, one of the things that I learned years ago is I know it's come on, cayenne pepper.
Oatmeal.
Helps remove the cholesterol, but I don't think it lowers blood pressure. I'm not sure if cayenne pepper helps keeps the blood pressure up or not, but I know it helps clean out the arteries.
Yeah, oatmeal helps too.
Yeah, I'm on oatmeal now. I had to give up my my Raisin Bran. Going for the low carb.
Another thing too that you might want to consider as parents is, and I'm kind of against this, but again, for security purposes, if you allow your child to have a cell phone, you can track their phone. Especially if you're worried about something happening in their school.
Yeah.
You can track their phone, and you can do that from your laptop as well as another mobile phone.
Yeah.
A lot of the phones coming out have that option. If they don't, there's some pretty good apps out there that you can download.
What's I found, all right, I got a Galaxy here. It was because AT&T went to the 4G only, and my other phone, which said 4G on it, no, that's just 4G for data, not 4G for phone. And it still was 3G for phone, even though they told me at the store 3 different times, yes, this is good. And when they did the switch, all of a sudden my phone stopped working. The problem I've noticed with this thing here is that the battery in it goes
quick.
Yeah.
I mean, something else I can't get it to stop doing is when I open and close it, it goes. I
Oh,
can't get the vibrate to turn off. I got the vibrate to turn off for phone calls and text messages, but the other thing I did do though, it is the GPS has been deactivated, and the internet has been deactivated on it.
Yeah.
But it's the other crap that's still part of it that sucks juice like a
like nobody's business.
I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to try to talk about drunks, but yeah. I was going to use the saying my grandmother used to use. Yeah. So unless you can find a good smartphone that has a super battery.
Yeah.
Mine's decent.
They have the ability to make it better, but they don't.
Oh yeah, because it's part of the
well, they could do it, but it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
Well, not really cost that much, but to do it, it's just that they put a crappy battery in there, so that it's still should be charging it all the time.
Yeah.
And the battery then it gets cycled so many times, all of a sudden it dies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can't replace the battery yourself.
Yeah.
Yep. Remember back in the day when you just buy a new battery for your phone?
Mm-hmm. I remember back in the day when my bulletproof Nokia, suddenly was dropped by AT&T. Oh no, you got to get a different one. We no longer support it.
Mm.
Why? I don't know. Company policy.
Mm. I had a Nokia that I loved. Man, that thing went flying across. I had it on top of the car and I took off. And it went flying. It hit the cement really hard.
Yeah.
Picked it up and somebody called me and I'm like, oh, still works. Fairly.
Mine's an LG. I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
I probably should replace it, but still works. So. It's only like 2.5 years old.
Yeah. It's like my phone. So I have an Apple, but it's only 2.5 years old.
It's AT&T,
Mm-hmm.
which we have very limited options out here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like AT&T or Verizon, and I've had horrible service out of Verizon. So
Yeah.
stuck with AT&T. It's like $30 a month. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Here. Yeah. Now, Kaylin just reminded me of something, because this is this up here. If I can get it out of the pack here, for my camera here, what I use for it, battery pack on it, my spare one here, and there we go, it's coming up here, is the Mudo, and this is the 30,000. Gee, I need two glasses on. The printing is micro printing, so I got to put two glasses on to get to do it. Okay, yeah, all right. It is the 30 milliamp hours, 100 watt hours. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, I mean, this thing here. Last time I charged it for my usually just for my camera was 3 months ago, and it's got 81% left on it. So, but if you something like this, if you put it in the kids' backpack, so that with their phones, when their phone's in the backpack, they plug it in, so it keeps the phone charged at all times. Then those apps.
Hey, Bob.
Should we be worried since she came in to chat and said, "Where am I?"
Where are you? You are in my basement. Yeah, Kaylin says you're in my basement. Oh, everybody's picking on Bob.
He loves the basement.
No, Tibor picked up. The nudist colony was the left turn. You turned right. Bob, you want me to send you the link? Or actually, I can just drop it here.
Drop it like it's hot.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Control C. There you go. I know, Garden Girl. You're in Seattle, Bob. Bob, have you been tasting some of the stuff that those guys that look like they're homeless wandering around the neighborhood have been dropping? There's the link. But yeah, I mean, this thing here, I've been using this now for, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years now. I've been using it for a long time now, and it works great and when I remember to turn it on.
Right.
Run. Run, Forrest, run.
Oh. I'm sorry, Barry, but that has special meaning when you said that. Because Bob was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Oh. There he is. How you doing, Bob?
Good.
Hey, Bob.
And Joe's in the house. We got Garden State Gardener in the house now. And we're past the 9 o'clock hour, so I guess the children's getting children ready for school kind of ran that out. And now we're just going to hang out and chat. So anybody else out there in the side chat want to come up and just chat?
What's that about the Air Force?
Okay, hang on. I got to kill it.
The Scare Force?
Got to kill it. Gotta kill it here. Okay,
none of you guys served. I did. Ha!
That's true. That's true.
Serve food. I mean, come on.
Wait a minute. I was a foster parent. That's the same.
That's no.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
And this one here is block user.
How was your day, Bob?
Not bad.
All right, and let me go over here. Sorry, I got to go in there. And is anybody all right? Okay, Gear got it. Thank you, Gear.
Oh, okay.
Gear, did you just delete him or did you block him?
I threw a grenade.
Yeah.
So
so guys, it's you have to be a subscriber for 10 minutes to make comments now. And I think everybody here is a subscriber except for the adult dating site there, which well, at least they came in after we were done talking about kids.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it?
That's a positive. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was on have you ever heard of Nene's blogger? She's in Sweden, Filipina.
Yeah.
And she invited me to come up, and there was another American and Filipina couple, and they live not far from me. And we were talking about, the struggles of being married American Filipino. And well, she'd been here for years. She's like my wife, years and years and years. But she told me a really funny way to stop the neighbors over there, because I guess they live in a normal barangay, which Mrs. said, you're not living in a normal neighborhood. So one day, his Mrs., she put on a white dress with a white sheet over her head and stood in all the windows and started screaming, like she's a ghost. And some of the neighborhood kids saw that and started running home and telling their parents, and none of the neighbors stopped by for money ever again.
Wow.
I'm going to remember that one.
Good night, where to begin, Homestead.
Good night, where to begin.
Yeah. Yeah, Gary, you got it right. You got the blocked user on channel. And anybody else that wants to, I'm not sure if you just have to be a have a wrench or not, but most people have a wrench. If you go to the
Hey,
three
boss,
dots
pass
next to
McCoy.
that live love chat thing, and click report, and just unwanted content or spam. If everybody does that, then that gets YouTube to put a hammer down on them too.
Stop. Hammer time.
Let me see if I can get to it.
Yeah, you just gotta scroll back up a bit.
Yeah. Well, I can't do it on StreamYard. I don't have
Yeah.
you open. Oh, here we
Yeah.
go. So I got to open it up.
Barry, what you been up to today?
Helping a friend out with a few things.
Right on. Yeah.
Did some stuff around the house before I had to go over there.
I don't have you open. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I got a question here for Joe. Joe, how's your rehab doing? I saw some of the videos where you're picking up the marbles and stuff like that, and some of the other ones and stuff. So how are you doing there, Joe?
Well,
Yeah.
Laura, what's happening with you today? You staying out of trouble?
Yeah. Took a nap today. I did some. Oh, I squished a bunch of army worms. Caught some more. Whoops. Nope. Didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
So Laura, when you get out to the big acreage, you're
Yeah.
planting tomatoes out there, be sure to plant borage in between the tomato plants.
Yeah.
It chases the hornworms off. My wife's has been using it there in California. We had bad hornworm problems in California. First year she started doing it, no
Yeah.
more hornworms. The
I've
moth-
never
moth-
dealt with hornworms, but
Yeah.
What's
I picked
borage?
a bunch of them off. I got a black light this afternoon or this evening and picked a bunch of them off. And
Nice.
yeah. And then I caught one outside while I was picking a bunch of the moth that lays the eggs for the hornworms. And I
Squish.
was messing with it. I didn't squish it right away because I was kind of using it as a teaching moment. I'm like, better film this. Not a lot of people know what these things look like and how big they are.
Good idea.
And so I used it as a teaching moment.
Cool.
And then I had my dog Astro take care of him for me.
Astro.
Astro.
All right, Joe is allowed to start driving.
Yay, Joe.
Cool.
Right on.
That's exciting.
Yes. Yeah, and it's but like Pastor Quaddy said, it's limited driving. So
Yeah,
no
but it's something.
Yeah, no hour-long drives.
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's insulated.
Good news,
above.
Joe. Good news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep your pop cool.
Speaking of from Joe's was this Achilles tendon that was tore. My daughter had an MRI on her knee. Found out that back when she was in college 7 years ago, when she had her first time her knee dislocated or whatever, the hospital just took an X-ray. They didn't do an MRI. And from back then she tore the tendon. That's why it's rolling over sideways. It's partially torn.
Right.
And so it's going to be a surgery, a definite hard surgery to try to repair hers there. It wasn't.
Yeah.
If they'd caught it right then, it would have been easy a fix. Put back together and stuff. But
Right.
because it's been tore so long, it's receded.
Right.
You can't do
That's what they had to do with the muscle around my knee. It healed. I got dragged by a heavy rope. I was doing a rope swing, and the rope was like this big around, and I was like 90 pounds at the time. And somebody said, "Go!" We're all in a line to go across the river in this big swing, and I got dragged through the rocks, and so it broke one of my bones. I didn't find out that until I was like 19 when it came to the surface in my knee. And then later on, when I was like 24, they had to do surgery, and and make Swiss cheese out of the muscle around my knee because it was pulling my kneecap out of place because of all the scar tissue from the damage.
Dang.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah.
Yeah, my knee was like 4 times the size of what it was. But we didn't have insurance, so we didn't go to the doctor.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's one of the things fortunate with when my wife and I got married, I was in the operating engineers and I had their insurance program and stuff. And then she had her insurance and stuff, and she kept it when we first both got married. Then she dropped hers down to bare minimum for a couple of years, and then she when she quit her job to raise the kids, we were just using my insurance. And then when I had to leave the operating engineers, I was able to keep it for a while. And then she decided to go back to work, and then we were on her insurance for a little while. And then when I went to work for DHS, we got on the federal insurance, and she dropped hers like a hot rock because it was like 10 times what I was having to pay for the federal.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but the thing is, though, like all the times we had medical insurance, we never had dental because it was always cheaper to pay it. And the our regular medical paid for a couple little things along the lines, the minor stuff. So, and any major stuff like orthodontics and stuff, we figured out if we'd been, if we had the dental from the beginning,
I do. Passamaquoddy, I do.
Than what the orthodontics were.
Oh, well, getting braces for my daughter. That doctor. Yeah. Scammer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah, we had a confrontation, a minor one, because I was in the waiting room waiting for her to get her tightened up, whatever. So he brings me back there. Well, where has she been? I don't do the scheduling. Talk to my wife. She just told me to bring her up there.
Mm-hmm.
She's been gone too long. Where has she been? She's been at home. Well, why didn't you call? If you should have called.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I didn't have braces. I mean, I don't, you can see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
And he goes, you guys owe us all this money. And I said, yeah, I know. We're going to make payments. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do that. Well, you owe us money. And I said, oh, whoa, stop, dude. Stop. If you don't like this situation, take her braces off right now. Take them off right now. And he goes, oh, but then he turns to my daughter and goes, oh, I want you to have just that absolute perfect smile.
Yeah.
Playing on her vanity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I never had a problem with an orthodontist like that with my kids.
He wouldn't face me, but he faced my daughter when played on her vanity. I want you to have this perfect smile.
Yeah.
It's really, really, I said, take them off. I said, nobody's died from a crooked tooth. No, certainly, nobody has died. And I said, look at my teeth. I didn't have any braces. You don't like the payment plan that we're making? Take them off. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If only.
If only. Yep. Yeah. If it weren't for law enforcement, yeah. He Anyway, but that's my lovely story about orthodontia.
Cool, Tibor. Good. That hearing that your brother's 100% now makes Joe feel better. It makes me feel better about my daughter.
Yeah.
All right.
They might have to do some Swiss cheesing on her too.
Yeah. Well, they were talking about. She was saying they were talking about having to borrow some from a couple other different spots. A little bit to reconstruct.
Yeah. So it's probably a little deeper surgery than something that just broke.
Yeah, because it's been 7 years. Because it was when she was when she was in college. Actually it may have been 8 years. She was on she was captain of the fencing team
Oh yeah.
and did a lunge and it went.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah. Good.
thankfully, nothing like that's happened around here. Everybody's in pretty solid shape around here.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to ice cream and fish and chips next weekend on the docks of the port of Tacoma.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Bob, you can say you plead the fifth on this, or you can give us the time. What do you have a plan for a date plan, like a 5-year plan, 6-year plan for your wife retiring, and you guys saying hasta la vista, babies?
Well, I can't give you an exact date because, like, there are circumstances overseas. Okay, example is Dylan. She's the daughter of my wife's second youngest sister.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan's mom died of cancer, and yeah, it was okay. Dylan is in care of her dad, which I have no respect for this guy, none, zero. So he moved in a 24-year-old woman into his house, and Dylan is having a lot of problems with this woman because example is Dylan had to film this stepmom taking a shower for TikTok. You get it?
Oh, the mom had her film it.
Right. Yeah, stepmom. She's just a girlfriend to her dad. That's Okay. So when Dylan went to public school, it's free, but now we've got her transferred to a private school that's all day to get her out of that house as much as we can. That just started today. So there's one thing that we're looking at. We've got her and her cousin are going to a private school together. And then the older sister, cousin, niece is going to university right now. As soon as they all graduate from all their education, then we can bolt. We can get out of here. Yeah. I can't give you a real solid time on that.
But it sounds like it's going to be at least 6 years.
Well, maybe. Yeah. Right in there. But in the meantime, we get them driver's licenses and we get them everything that they need to continue their education. Yeah. I'll stay here and guard the house wherever we live as long as possible to make sure they get an education because that's their only chance to get out and find work that pays, Now,
all these nieces, nephews, cousins, and stuff that you've been helping, that you and your wife have been helping over there, that have graduated and do have working jobs, are they taking some of that money to, quote, pay back or pay forward to other nieces, nephews, cousins,
I can't say because I don't ask.
Right.
But I know that Ate, she's now working as a registered nurse over there, and she's on a waiting list to come here to the U.S. Right. She's already passed the exam to be able to work as a nurse here in the States. But Ate, you know how much she makes? She is a registered nurse with over 20 patients a day. About $10 a day. Wow. Over there, you don't get paid by the hour. You get paid by the day. So she brings that home.
That's hard work.
With over 20 patients alone. Yeah.
In the States, everything. we have like 8 patients, and that's considered a lot. Usually it's 5.
Yep.
And it is a lot.
They can be anything from geriatric care to burns to anything, pre-op, post-op, anything, So she's making about $10 a day, and that comes back home to her mom and dad,
Wow.
But the rest of it, I don't know. I really don't know what she's doing. I won't ask because that's between the women.
Hey, hello, Charmaine Martinez. Yeah, we've already finished up with the main topic tonight, and we're just going on just an open chat. We're just kind of chatting about stuff here, so that's what's going on. Yeah, because my wife is hoping, and I'm hoping too, that in 4 years, a little bit less, she'll be able to move up here full time, and then it'll everything will be a lot easier up here dealing with the grandsons and stuff. When she comes up here, when she actually moves up here, we'll be moving all of our stuff out of the house in California up here. Leave both our sons down there, and if they leave it up to them, if they want to do a share rental, rent a room out with kitchen privileges to somebody. That's what my wife and I did when we first got married. I guess that's how I met my wife. I was renting 2 of the rooms out, and she was the second person to move in there, and it was like sparks. Within 6 weeks, we were engaged. And that marriage has lasted over 30 years. So
yeah.
But the thing is, though, my youngest son, the last time I talked to him, he was talking about he's looking forward and trying to get certain things bought while he's making the good money there in California. He wants to move up. He wants to move up here. He's planning on moving up here. But he wants to get enough money saved up and everything where he can either go ahead and start building a little house or get a manufactured or prefab, but basically the one that's considered still stick built. They bring it in on a trailer, not like a manufacturer. They got the axles under it.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bring it in, and it just goes on the foundation. Get something like that done.
Yeah.
And so I keep telling them, hey, believe it or not, if you hit the right company up here, you'll be making as much as you are there. But so if he comes up here, then the other son's going to go, I ain't staying here.
Right.
Yeah, expat from California, man. Get off the West Coast, man.
Yeah.
So we got a few more years here.
There's a bunch of Californians here, I tell you.
Yes, modular. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have you received any mistreatment of any kind, Laura, from being from Oregon to come there?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
She probably received some if she said she was from California.
Yeah.
They do complain about the Californians a little bit. I think because they're worried about their politics. But
that's the thing is here. I said, I escaped from California and came back to the land of my grandmother. And they go, oh, okay, welcome.
Yeah.
They go, oh, California. Okay, we know you're on the right side of the fence.
Yeah.
I believe that in Tennessee, a whole lot like Kentucky, they're really welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
They might razz you for a while, like where I'm from, Cleveland.
Yeah.
I heard it for like a year. The damn Yankee, all that kind of stuff. But after a while, it's just kind of like, I've been here 30 years, and it's just like, like I was born here. So.
Yeah, I get that.
My husband's got it once from an older lady in Nashville. An old lady went off on her and said he could take his beliefs back where he was from because, he doesn't have an accent. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the reasons why one of the primary reasons why we're going to stay somewhere here in Washington is that the pay scale here is higher than most of the rest of the country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we get paid really well.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go up against that because the women won't harass the wife. They'll come after me, just like they did with your husband.
Yeah.
Because they know they're safe.
Right.
If you go up against another woman, you're going to get,
Yeah.
Woman on woman, they'll get knocked on their ass,
It's my husband, that's why he's not accounting here. It doesn't pay anything here in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Pays very minimal, compared to driving. So he's glad he saved his CDL.
Yeah, Tibor, she's in Tennessee.
Yeah.
It was one of my wife's coworkers. He went he went to Tennessee, and he said the housing is super cheap, on and on and on. Taxes are great, but the pay, he'd be earning less than half pay than what he gets here in Washington, So
Yeah.
he said, no, I'm not moving there. Not going to do it.
Real estate's even worse the closer you get to places like Dollywood and stuff like that down there.
Yeah. Here where I'm at in Clarksville, it's pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The up here, when we first got here, we bought the house across the street here in 2016, and it was 130. I can't remember, but it was all right. My wife said basically we're paying for the land. The house that's on it, we may tear down and build new. Yeah, that was her.
Yeah.
For an accountant to say that, it's like, okay, she said the 130 was a good price for the land.
Yeah.
The 5 acres there. We bought this one over here for almost 3 times. It's only 1 acre, but it's also a lot newer house, has a big shop on it. Everything over here is a lot newer, a lot nicer, a lot less work to do over here, even though I'm working my butt off trying to make it really nice for her when she gets there.
Yeah.
But it's, the thing is, though, the prices are going up so much. It's just ridiculous. And people are getting picky on who they're selling to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see.
If you're from California, they want to find out what are your beliefs.
Yeah, I get that. I can understand that.
If you're leaving California because you don't like the way the government is, but you want to make this like that there, just go back.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Go down the street, fella. You're not.
No, not go down the street. Go back. If you want to make it like it is, if you want to make it liberal, go back to California.
My goal, I'm hoping no matter where we go. Okay, I've been living among renters for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know my neighbors because they come in and out and in and out. No matter where we settle for the last few years here, I want to be in where there are other homeowners.
Yeah.
So that there's a stable population.
Makes a big difference.
It does. And I tell you, like I told you 2 years ago when everything was on fire here during the St. Floyd, it's only me and 2 other guys were standing watch. That was it. Thousands of apartments and all that. Nobody else was doing anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed today there was really scary, kind of sad, was in the evening I have a tendency to sit on the front porch, have a smoke, have a coffee, watch the sunset. And that's when most people around here are walking their dogs, and I can get a look at the population.
Mm-hmm.
The people in this area who are renting, the majority of them are so obese that if anything happened, these people are going to be absolutely helpless.
Mm-hmm.
What I've noticed about here in Tennessee is there's a lot of obese people.
Here as well.
Hey, like Steve said, of course they're trainers.
Yeah.
Walking food.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
If it gets really bad, it's.
Haven't they learned anything from Zombieland? Double tap.
Obviously.
Cardio's everything.
Cardio, yeah.
It's everything.
Honey, these are the people who found the Twinkies.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
They hoarded them.
Yeah. And I don't mean to be mean, but I noticed that.
No, it's here in Tennessee and Kentucky. People are big in the South.
Yeah, the females here are big.
Mm-hmm.
I know the men usually are okay, but the females here are big. To the point to where if they had to run half a block to escape anything, they're not going to make it. They can't run a half a block.
Right.
Like,
well, the truth is, a lot of thinner people can't run half a block either. Just because you're thin, it doesn't mean that you can run half a block.
True. That's true. That's true.
You got to do some kind of exercise to keep that up. I mean,
Yeah.
It's facts.
That's what I love about the trails over here in the woods behind my house. It's just
Yeah.
because it's not flat terrain. I
Mhm.
mean, you all have seen where I live.
Mhm.
It's challenging. So
One of
go ahead.
one of the things I'm doing right now as we speak is I'm wearing those dump bags kit on my person, full of 45 and 12 gauge buckshot, and I walk around the house with it all day. I do all my laundry, everything, and just carrying the extra weight around is one of the things that I'm doing, and walk.
Mhm.
The only
Yeah.
thing smart my son-in-law has done was this summer he had the boys out walking with their school backpacks on and was adding weight to the
Good.
packs.
Good. Hmm.
That's the only smart thing he's done. Of
Good
course,
deal.
he's got the number 2 grandson, Aiden. Um, he thinks I want to be big like my dad. It's like, no, you don't.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You need you don't want to be big like him. You want to you want to be big, and I show him pictures of Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Yeah.
Sylvester. You want to be big like this,
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really just hoping and praying we can get someplace where we have a stable neighborhood and I can get to know these people on site and see some of the people who are veterans or
Mhm.
someone I might be able to count on.
I'm literally surrounded by veterans right now.
Oh, you're so
Every
lucky.
household has
Mhm.
a veteran in it around me. It's like a little veteran village, or not veterans. They're soldiers, I should say.
Yeah, you're lucky there. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've only got one.
It's a fan. It's like, all right, who was senior ranking officer? Step up. You're in charge.
Well, for me, the upcoming elections is what is, Laura, you're from Portland.
Mhm.
That's one thing that I'm looking at. Is like I pray we can get out of here, get to someplace stable before the elections,
Mhm.
so I could recognize my neighbors. I know who they are. I know their cars. I know their kids. I know a little about them.
Mhm.
Because here, like, there's a whole row of houses, and these people stay for 6 months, 3 months, and they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Bob,
not
maybe you'll find that winning lottery ticket blowing along the ground.
yeah.
Somebody dropped by accident.
It's not really a matter of the money. It's more a matter of finding a location. That's
Mhm.
why I put out a video. We're going out scouting. We're
Mhm.
looking where could we possibly live and what less of those addicted folks around.
Mhm.
Because if you've got addicted and you're not standing guard, you're going to lose everything you've got.
Right.
Just like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to be a gloom and doom, but that's my hope. We can get out of here before the next election and get
Yeah.
stuck in someplace.
No, I hear you.
Mhm.
I hear you. And for the right price too.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I would like to get a place where we don't have a homeowners thing, because I can weld and cut metal and I can build you a fence like you wouldn't believe. You're not going to want to climb over that fence.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Hormone-fed food. Yep. That's for sure.
Yeah, and Coca-Cola, man. I noticed a lot of the folks around here walk around with a bottle of Coca-Cola or something in their hands. Like, ooh, no.
Yeah.
What's worse, and the more I'm reading the labels on all the canned food stuff we have around here, it's the more I'm just like, oh man. I mean, just the amount of stuff. Like for years, we used to get the Del Monte pasta sauces, the different Del Monte pasta sauces, because they'd be on sale 75 cents for these big cans.
Mhm.
High fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. High fructose corn syrup, and then start looking at the amount of salt that's in your foods.
For us, salt's not a problem because my wife doesn't add salt to
Salt's
anything.
a problem for everybody, and I'll tell you why. Because the amount that we're feeding the American public
Yeah.
is way if they eat canned food, that's what they're eating. 99, a huge part of America is doing that. If you're eating canned food, you're going way over your sodium limit every day. We're starting to see kids with heart disease, all kinds of crazy stuff, and it's because they're eating sodium, fat, high ketones. You know, all of these things together is very ill people.
Yeah. And that's the, like I mentioned in the beginning there. Two of my favorite things, they've gone from sugar to high fructose corn syrup and regular corn syrup. It's like Smuckers, you mothers, you need to go back to the original recipe. Same thing with Welch's. You need to go back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like on most of my my low IBC tote planter beds are all going to be strawberries.
Yep.
And then at the one in the house, when we get the permaculture going, the ground cover is going to be strawberries.
Mm-hmm.
Good thinking. Good thinking.
Yeah. And my wife made some no sugar apricot preserves. And she says it's the way she did it took a long time for it to cook down and do everything. She said it's like eating a dehydrated the dehydrated apricots.
Yeah.
Just it's sweet, not like that, but it's it's intense, but it's it's good.
Yeah.
The taste is there without the oversweetness.
We have wild strawberries here in Tennessee, which is really awesome.
Oh, they are delicious.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm just hoping for. I hope.
And guess who found them? Guess who
Astro?
found them in my yard?
Is it Astro?
Your dog?
Norman.
Norman. Oh, Norman.
Good job, Norman.
You know, if there's food, he'll find it in the yard.
Absolutely.
Little bandit.
Mm-hmm.
He's so cute, though.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like for me, even with the canned foods I'm eating and stuff, I'm having to add salt to stuff because I'm working out so hard out in the sun and stuff, sweating, and I'm just sweating salt. So I need to get salt back into me.
Yeah.
So because when my wife was here, she was going, she saw me putting salt on my steak. She goes, "Why are you putting so much on there?" Because I'm having problems. And 5 minutes, I actually took salt and shook some in my hand. 5 minutes later, it's like, okay, I can think again. It was affecting my cognitive. Lack of salt.
It might be not salt. It may be potassium.
Well, I take potassium vitamins. One of the things with it because I hate getting the cramps. If I'm out working and I'm sweating, if I don't take 2 potassium pills a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, that night I wake up in the middle of the night with severe cramps.
Yeah,
and
cramps in your feet.
And I can't do the bananas anymore because they're so sugary.
Yeah, with your diet. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's and so if you're out like Anthony at Pimento Prepared was saying, if you're storing foods and stuff for the long term, go ahead and store some of the one like the tomato sauces with salt in them. Because if you come through a disaster time, you'll be working your butt off. You're going to be needing that salt.
Yeah.
For the most people, there are some people that can't have salt that are, need to be, like Lori, you need to be on a real low salt diet.
Just need to can my own is what I need to do.
So does the no salt vegetables from the store in the can, I mean, does that still have a lot of sodium or not?
No.
Look at the back of the can.
My wife gets the tomato paste and small cans of tomato salt, no salt. And they have no salt.
Okay.
But when I'm out working hard during the summertime, I use the salt stuff. In the wintertime, when I'm not doing anything, then I go to the non-salt.
Yeah.
I know when to switch from one to the other. But of course, they also if I'm in the wintertime, if I'm working out like I'm supposed to be doing, and working, I got the weight set in there and I'm going and stuff. Then I might add a little salt here and there because if I'm sweating on there while I'm working.
Yeah, I was shocked this evening. Two of these females that I think one lives there, and the other one, I don't know who she is, but they both came out of the house on the corner, and you never see them. They
Mhm.
never come outside. They're in their 20s, guys. One was okay. You could tell that she'd been sitting for a long time.
Mhm.
The other one, wow. I mean, that's, and I watched other people walking past, walking their dogs. It was like, man, these folks, they're just not going to make it,
No.
No.
you know?
And they'll probably live their lives out on
Yeah, on our taxes.
assistance. Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Well,
Here,
their mom is like a jailhouse mom, and she's big, and she don't
Mm.
like my wife because, I remember I had an encounter with her husband, their dad or whoever, and he said, "I don't like nothing Asian." I said, "Really? You don't like Asian people who send their kids to university and none of them get arrested? You don't like that? What's
Yeah.
not to like about that?" And I stood right there with him.
Mhm.
He's an ex-con.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's his prison wife, and she made some racial slanders at my missus once, and my missus, as she was walking to her car, and she just carrying her handbag and looked her right in the face and laughed at her.
Mm.
That's the mentality of some of my neighbors here.
Yeah.
Hey, Gear. One of my grandsons started, was getting stuff a couple of years ago and was doing the same thing. He took a couple bites. I don't want anything. Well, that's when I was still living over there, and it's like, well, you ain't getting nothing else to eat. And later he tried to get something else. I just handed the plate right back to him. There you go. There's your dinner.
Mhm.
Yeah.
After
That's how
several
I was
times,
raised.
he finally learned that's what he was going to eat.
That's
Yeah.
how I was raised.
Yeah, and when the other kids got dessert, he was mad. It's like, hey,
Yep.
finish your dinner. That's the way it's got to go. My boys tried to do that too once. Didn't work.
Mhm.
As soon as the microwave went ding, I took it, tossed it out in the compost pile. Said, you didn't eat dinner. You don't get to do this. Then my wife yelled at them for wasting money and food.
French Foreign Legion does every kid some good. Yeah, I don't know. As far as all the money that goes back home or to the Philippines, that's between my wife had to. I was speaking with another Filipino living here for years about
Mhm.
how she used to get bombarded by every cousin and aunt and neighbor, money, 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 money. I told her what my wife did was she narrowed it down to Ate down there, the oldest daughter, and then herself. Nobody else gets involved. They can all complain to Ate. And then Ate is the one who presents the case to my wife. She narrowed all these others out.
Yeah.
That's some stuff that's in a mixed race marriage that a lot of people are not aware of, because that happens. And
Right.
I had her sister try that stuff with me a long time ago, and I just like, because my wife was begging me, please don't get a Facebook page, please. And as soon as I logged on, added a few folks down there, bing, bing, bing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they tried their luck, but it didn't work. That's
Yeah,
when my wife.
I think the gallbladder surgery here that Tibor was talking about is because my son-in-law had gallbladder surgery years ago, and I think that's probably what it was eating Hot Pockets because
Oh yeah,
his dad disappeared when he was young, and he was a spoiled brat.
I've had my gallbladder removed though, but I lost it because I lost weight rather quickly. And that will do that too.
Mhm.
So.
Well, it's taken me 3 months to lose 17 pounds, which is a good pace.
Mm-hmm.
I just have another year and a half to go at that rate.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a good pace. Be right back, guys.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's see here.
Well, I'm going to bounce, guys.
Yeah, we're coming up on 2 hours here,
Okay.
and I totally forgot to get my numbers tonight, so I got to go back in and get those numbers. Yeah,
All right.
I'm still tracking the Red Dragon,
Take care, Bob.
and
Peace out, guys.
I'm laughing at sorry, Bob, and I'm laughing at the way people are certain states. You can tell that they're fudging their numbers.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Yeah. Oh, it's a blue state. Why are their numbers suddenly going up? Because when certain people in the administration says, "Oh, we're having another surge," and all of a sudden these states' numbers starts going up, and the other states, their numbers are still going down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody at the county said they got contacted by our leftist governor in Republican clothing, saying, "Oh, you guys aren't reporting enough numbers," and they told them there ain't no numbers to report.
Bob said,
"Well, you need to report numbers." They go, "No."
Oh, cool. Thank you.
So yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Anybody have anything? Final parting words? Side chat parting words? Panel parting words?
No.
All right. Well, while the side chat's thinking about it, next Monday, well, Thursday is going to be the midnight ride here on Gray Man Prepping, and I will kick the 5-minute countdown at 5 minutes to midnight Eastern time. So I'll be Thursday night, and then Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound. The topic on Monday is uses for coffee filters. And,
cool.
we're going to be going into a lot of different uses for coffee filters. And then Tuesday here being August 30th, the last Tuesday of the month. This is the final topic I had in line for the fear porn channels stuff about. So the topic is, after the gold is confiscated, what are your plans? And so we talk about the fear porn channels. They're saying they're going to confiscate all the gold again. They're going to confiscate all the silver. They're going to confiscate all the copper. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that a little bit for the beginning part of it, and then we will move on to talk about regular financial security. And I hope I can convince my wife to come on, even from California, for that, because hey, she's an accountant. When we got married, I bought a house for $142,000 on a 30-year loan, and after we got married, 17 years later, it was paid for. And so, yeah. So she's going to talk about what if I get her to come on, she'll talk about it. Otherwise, I'll just reiterate the stuff she beat into my brain.
Mm-hmm.
With a frying pan. No, not with a frying pan. She never hit me. So
Bet you remember.
Next week. And see everybody here. So tomorrow
night, I'm on at 11 Eastern.
Okay.
And 1 Eastern. Or no, 2 Eastern. So I have an interview at Huga is going to be on my channel, and we're going to interview her at 2 o'clock Eastern, and then 11 o'clock Eastern on my channel, just to have fun. So
cool. And then that's Wednesday. Barry, are you doing any lives?
I don't know.
Okay. If it does, it'll be a pop-up live, folks.
Yeah.
I got Gray Man on Thursday. Friday, Courtney has the 12 o'clock Eastern, Blue Ribbon Canning channel with Tammy.
Mm-hmm. And then Fishes might go on at night. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Fishes should be coming on if she doesn't stay up too late with me on Thursday night. She'll be coming up at 11:30 Eastern for Friday, not
Mhm.
Friday. Yay! And Saturday,
Is Cosmics.
Cosmic Cultivators.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sunday is Courtney.
And Monday.
And Monday, Courtney comes on an hour after I get done with Camp Patton Family Compound.
Yeah.
So Camp Patton's on at 8 on Monday, and Courtney comes on at 10 on Monday.
Yeah.
All right, so those are the coming attraction, folks. Thank you all for sticking around and chatting with us, and giving both those who have been here for the whole thing. Thank you for talking about ideas that you kicked up there for preparing kids for school, and then talking about just everything else afterwards. So
Yeah.
everyone, stay happy, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow over there.